feel good today. What's up, everybody? It is Tuesday, September 12th, the start of our week. This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We call it the Early Edge. We are presented, as always, by the king of all sports books, BetMGM, and we are powered by SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it's not close. Wow, what a way to end week one of the NFL. So much to unpack. Had a little bit of good, a little bit of bad, but when you have a game like that, it's very hard to handicap. Last night, we take a look at how the entire crew did. Aaron Rodgers going down on play number 4. As an NFL fan, just debilitating. Take the betting out of it. Just debilitating, to say the least. We have so much to talk about, and I said our week starts today. And it starts with our Week 2 NFL Mega Preview. At 4 p.m. Eastern Time, we're talking Aaron Rodgers. We're talking Christian McCaffrey went bananas. How about the Cowboys? How will they back up a 40-point win? We'll talk about it all today at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Just turn on your notifications. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Now, when we start our week, we bring in our absolute very best. Let's bring in the stars of the show. You know them. You love them. The counselor is here. The sniper is here. Mikey B is here. And live from Las Vegas, Zack is here. Gentlemen, we have no time to waste. Let's jump right in. It's time for marquee matchups because we cannot forget. We're going to fill up our books, fill up our accounts with baseball money. And then we'll be able to bet football come Thursday night. It's all a flow. We got to get into a flow. So here's what we're going to do. These are the top 5 players for the SportsLine model. And if you are a SportsLine member, you already knew that. Aaron Judge, plus 225. Matt Olson, plus 240. Peter Alonso, plus 250. Mookie Betts, plus 300. And Kyle Schwarber, plus 375. Sniper, let's start with you. Who's going the yard today?
Well, I'm going to go with Aaron Judge here in Fenway Park. Always nice to go with somebody in Fenway. We know that's a nice hitter's venue. He's facing Cutter Crawford, who has a 6.51 ERA in Fenway Park this year. He has had issues with the home run. Judge is due. No home runs since September 2nd. But last time he saw Crawford, which was August 19th, home run. We're going to go 2 in a row here.
Yeah, they were postponed last night, so they'll be fresh. They had a day off that they weren't expecting. I like that play. By the way, speaking of the yard, guess who's in the chat? From Japan, our man Buckets, and there is international or European championship qualifying today. A ton of games. Any questions on that, throw them into the chat. He will answer them in real time. And while you do that, go ahead and hit the like button for me. I'd really, really appreciate it. All right, Sniper is on Aaron Judge. Mikey B, let's come to you. What do you like?
Yeah, I'll go with Pete Alonso. We got Ryan Nelson starting for the Diamondbacks. He's given up 1.5 home runs per 9 innings. Last time he faced the Mets, he gave up 7 runs and 2 home runs over just 3 2/3 innings. Alonso did hit one of those home runs. And dating back to that start against the Mets, Nelson has given up 11 home runs over his last 40 innings.
Ooh, there is research involved. Mikey B, thank you very much. Zack, coming to you, big boy. What do you like?
The same play as Mikey B. I'm going Pete Alonso plus 250. Alonso has not went beyond 2 games this month without hitting a home run. Did not hit a home run Sunday or yesterday, so you got to imagine he's going to hit one today. And as Mikey B said, already has a 3-run shot this year against Ryan Nelson. So Pete Alonso plus 250.
All right, so we're sticking with New York. It's a theme. Counselor, are we staying with that theme?
Yeah, speaking of New York, Buffalo Bills, what are you doing? I'm going to stick with New York. I'm going to stick with the sniper. I think we're going to be tailing each other later in the show as well. Give me Aaron Judge. Wow, Judge. Give me Aaron Judge against Cutter Crawford. Listen, Judge is kind of due. He hasn't hit a home run in a few days, or at least a week. I think this is the time he gets it. Sniper's analysis on point there.
And we should point out, this is a doubleheader now, thanks to the rain out yesterday. This is the night game with Judge against Cutter Crawford.
And I will say this, it's a good point, because he's going to face Pivetta in the daytime. And listen, Pavetta's been good, but he's been good. He's been striking out a lot of batters, but he's also, I think he's going to allow some contact here too. We know Judge is going to be swinging for the fences. So I actually think he's due for a home run against both of these pitchers.
And to be clear, 1:35 p.m. Eastern is the start of the first game, game 1 there in Boston. There's also a doubleheader in Chicago today, too, the Royals and the White Sox. So make sure you're betting the right game if you're playing either one of those 2 series. Dominic, I think he speaks for a lot of NFL bettors. He says, let's just stick to crushing baseball, coach. I ain't touching football until the World Series is over. Yes, counselor.
Well, I mean, listen, can I just tout myself a little bit here, coach? Please. I went 4-1 on NFL picks, on official NFL picks on SportsLine. The one I lost was Buffalo, which I honestly still can't believe. I'm still grappling with the notion that they lost that game with the 10-point lead at halftime. And I'll say this, just to promote our 12 o'clock show on Sundays.
Yep.
We pick at least I pick all of the games on that show. Maybe it's an official pick, maybe it's just a lean. Just on that show, 11-3. So the NFL picks, they're flowing. It's not just me, it's other people too. So don't be shy about betting NFL, especially early, because some of these lines I think are inefficient, and a lot of people are going off stats and trends from last year. I don't think that's the way to do it, especially with all of these teams making improvements, free agency, acquisitions in the draft, guys making splashes early. Do not avoid NFL. I promise you it'll be profitable on the front end specifically.
Dominic, just turn on your notifications. Every single show, you're going to learn something. It's about the information. Or maybe just take your bet down a little bit. If you don't have to bet that much, whatever your bet is. You're allowed to bet a little bit less. Nobody's making you. All right. Great information there from the counselor. Now, if you want to make some money, and I told you, we're going to be very straightforward with you with this partnership. And I cannot believe that new BetMGM customers, well, you're going to get $200 free. All you got to do is sign up, bet at least $10. We don't care if you win. We don't care if you lose. It does not matter. They will throw $200 into your account, and you can play with it. And, Dominic, you can bet on football. Now, today, my crew never stops working. They are everywhere. Download that CBS Sports app. Up there in the corner, there's one of those tabs. We love being where? Snake.
Get breaking news.
Big news coming out of the NFL today.
Highlights and instant reaction.
The largest final round comeback in Ford championship history. We're down to the final four.
I just want to take time to analyze greatness.
Talk winners and losers with a guy who's already a big winner.
CBS Sports HQ. It's all sports all day long.
All right, 3 of my 4 cappers are working on CBS Sports HQ. 5 seconds. What are we talking about from each one? Zach, what are you talking about today at 6 o'clock with the maestro?
I believe it's going to be, I know for sure it's going to be MLB and college football. It should be those 2 today.
Then in the 8 o'clock hour, Sniper, what do we got?
We're, as it says, scoreboard, so we're kind of reacting to the action that we've seen thus far and maybe as it's happening.
See, how much do you love a little live betting?
That's the thing. I'm going to be on with Sniper. We're going to be talking some live betting, certainly reacting, maybe placing some bets too. And also during that 8 o'clock hour, we're going to take an early look at some of the NFL lines, which I'm always really excited about. Obviously, you know from the preview show that, Coach, I think you're doing at 4 o'clock today. A lot of the action you want to take is early.
Yeah, very, very good. That's why we're called the early edge, beat the number, because football is the one sport that, man, those numbers change from day to day depending on who's betting on what. So you got to get that right number. All right, it's time to get to our board for the day. And you know what, Zach? Because you and I are out here on the West Coast, because it's so early, we got to get fired up a little bit. So I want your energy. I want you to start us off. What do you got today?
All right, Coach. I'm not switching it up just yet. I'm going with a pitcher prop today. I'm going to go with under 5.5 Ks for Max Fried. The juice is now minus 105. And I have a lot of strong reasons here on to take the under. We know that Max Fried missed almost 3 months of action from May 5th to August 4th. His return, his first 3 games, was only averaging 78 pitches. Now, his last 4 games, his workload has increased dramatically at 102 pitches. But you have to remember, this is just his 8th start since coming back from the IL. There are some concerns there with his workload increasing, even though he is a pretty good pitcher with an ERA just north of 2. But I still think that pitch count is starting to get to him. His last start, like I said, went over, had 104 pitches, ended with just 4 strikeouts. And this is a Philadelphia Phillies team that's had his number a couple times last year, including the postseason. First time seeing them this year. I think it's going to be a good road matchup here for the Atlanta Braves, but I'm telling Max Fried's under 5.5 Ks, minus 105.
Yeah, when you're the Atlanta Braves and you've already secured a playoff spot and you're 15 games up, you're probably not going to let your starters go that long in the game either. I love this play. Let's go under 5.5 Ks. And by the way, Coach loves unders. I'm changing my attitude today. I love unders. All right, Mikey B, I'm coming to you, big boy, because I see not 1, but 2. And last night I was on the Mariners. And when they were down 5-3, I was like, oh. And then one of your 2 guys goes yard to tie it at 5-5. And then they forgot to play the rest of the game. What do you like today?
Yeah, that's a tough one there, Coach. Well, first, we're going to go to the Astros and Athletics game. Jose Altuve over half a single at minus 105. Now, he has at least 1 single in 9 of his last 14 games. He's facing lefty J.P. Sears, who's allowed 47 hits over his last 35 innings. In his career, Altuve is hitting .324 against left-handed pitchers. Now, his hits, runs, and RBI line is set at 2.5 for this game. The over does have plus odds, but I don't really like messing around with that. So I'll just take him to go over half a single. And then your guy you were talking about with the Mariners coach, Julio Rodriguez, over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI at -130. Last night, he was not sleeping. He went 4 for 5 with a home run, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Over his last 21 starts, he is batting .443 with 11 home runs. It's just insane. He had at least 2 combined hits, runs, and RBI in 18 of those 21 games. He is facing Patrick Sandoval, who has a 6.55 ERA and a 2.05 whip over his last 5 starts. So another big night at the plate coming for Julio Rodriguez, coach.
Yeah, they can't afford any losses either, Mikey B. Right now, they're a half a game back of Texas for that 3rd wild card spot. So a lot of teams are flip-flopping spots. So every game matters, and Julio Rodriguez, a big part of that. Now, Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, we have our college football mega preview, because at CBS, we have all the conferences. We have all the good players. Snake.
Saturday, the champs are back on CBS and chasing history. Top dog Georgia has their sights set on an unprecedented three-peat. Will the Gamecocks put a dent in their dynasty? South Carolina, Georgia. Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
All right. Now, in the chat, I just saw somebody say, hey, counselor, what do you think about the Orioles' first 5 team total over 3 facing Adam Wainwright? Well, I would love for your take on that. And is first 5 Sia here today?
He is. Very good question, Coach. It's almost like you've done this before. It's Dominic Tesoriero, I think, who asked that Orioles overplay on Wainwright. And his question was, over 3 runs, first 5. It's interesting because I had a question about 3 months ago, Coach, about a first 5 play with the -0.5 involved. And my quote back to that question was, I almost never take the first 5 -0.5. Well, welcome to almost never, because we're going with that very same game that Dominic suggested. Orioles first 5 -0.5, -135. And why am I doing it this time, finally, for the first time? Because the ends justify the means, specifically John Means, who was back for the Orioles. His last action was in April, but he actually happens to be one of the Orioles' better pitchers, which for the record isn't saying a ton, but he's a decent pitcher. He's playing a Cardinals team that has some power against lefties, but I'm not as worried about that because we have Adam Wainwright on the other side for the Cardinals. I think we know at this point, if you watch this show, that we fade Wainwright, and this is the way I'm choosing to fade him. His hard hit rate is absurd. His strikeouts are extremely low. His ERA is sky high. I think this Orioles team in the first 5 should put up at least a few runs on him. And so if you believe that John Means is only going to allow 1 or 2 runs, then you like this -0.5. You might like that first 5 over 3 runs too. I don't mind that at all, but I'm going to take Orioles -0.5, first 5, -135.
91-52. That's what the Orioles are right now. This is a franchise year. They're rolling, and they're going to roll again today. Love this play, and it leads right in to the sniper, because the sniper is attacking this game from another angle, but it all comes together. As Buckets likes to say, synergy. Sniper, you're up.
Absolutely, yes. We are fading Adam Wainwright on this one. His ERA is actually over 8 for the entire season, and I don't think the Cardinals have heard of the 8th Amendment, because it is absolutely cruel and unusual punishment to keep running him out there and making us watch him pitch. However, we can make some money on it, so that's okay. And look, he has 198 career wins. The only thing I can come up with is, since they're not in the race, they're desperately trying to get him to 200 wins. But they started him against the Braves last time. You're starting him against the Orioles this time. That's not the way to do it. He's not going to get a win this way. His road allowed slash line this year, that is the batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage, teams batting against him on the road this year, is .351 with a 401 on base, .665 slugging percentage. Basically, every single player in the opposing lineup looks like an MVP when they're facing Wainwright this year. The Orioles are a good offense too. Well-rounded offense. They hit up and down the lineup. They run. They can hit for power, especially left-handed hitting against the righty in Camden Yards, where it's still, you can still hit home runs to right field at least. You know, they've got Baltimore in left, but this is just incredibly juicy. So I'm over 5.5 runs on the Orioles team total here. I like the first 5 play. I like almost anything you can do on the Orioles on this one. Also, Trey Turner, Speaking of somebody hitting like an MVP, in his last 32 games, he's hitting 385 with an 823 slugging percentage, 10 doubles, 15 homers. That's in 32 games. 38 RBIs again in 32 games, 33 runs scored. Against Max Fried in his career, including the playoffs, he's 13 for 32. That's a 406 average here. Love this spot for Trey Turner. On the hits plus runs plus RBIs, it's not 2.5. We only have to get over 1.5. He's been averaging well over that here in this past month. Plus, he has 3 straight multi-hit games. Let's make it 4 and let's go cash this ticket.
It's been incredible, Sniper, how hot this guy has been. Now, I saw in the chat, cashing with the coach brings back memories. Now, you know I don't make picks every single day. And today I don't have official picks because we got 4 other guys on the show. But since we have a little bit of time, I'll tell you the 3 I'm going to play, and then I would love a little reaction from anybody, Sniper, Mike. It doesn't matter. So I love the Red Sox of the money line. I love the Braves over 8.5, 9. It doesn't matter to me. And I like the Blue Jays on the money line. Sniper, let's start with you. Any of those 3 that you like?
Maybe Blue Jays. I don't know. I'm not fully trusting Scherzer. And the Blue Jays had played better, but then the Rangers blew them out last night. I don't know. I still don't think the Rangers are totally fixed. So I'll say Blue Jays.
And that's exactly why I like the money line. Counselor, I come to you because the Red Sox, they've dominated the Yankees as of late. So I don't mind playing a little bit of extra juice. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't mind it either. And I assume you're referring to the night game where Cutter Crawford is pitching, or is it the Pivetta game in the daytime?
No, I actually like the daytime game. I'm sorry. Game 1 at 1:30 is what I was talking about.
Yeah, I like that. My fault. Yeah, I think Pivetta, he's been good enough. Listen, I have Aaron Judge as the prop here, but I think when we're looking at the pitching matchups and we're looking at what the Red Sox, I guess they're still playing for a wild card spot. They're the better team though right now. So yeah, I like that play.
Zach, let me come to you. Braves over. Oh, Braves over. Do you like that?
I do like that, Coach, and I wanted to add one more thing going back to the old school. If we had storylines, Baltimore Orioles games, 9 straight overs and overs in 10 of their last 11 games.
All right. Mikey B, any of those you'd like to comment on? Because I feel pretty good about them.
Yeah, I kind of like the Red Sox one there, even though I have my Yankee shirt on here. The Yankees, they finally call up all these young guys. Jason Dominguez gets hurt. Looks like Peraza might be battling an injury now. So, yeah, the Yankees, no matter what happens, it always turns out bad for them this season. So I'll go with you there in the Red Sox.
All right, very good. So Red Sox on the money line, Braves, Phillies over, and the Blue Jays on the money line. That's what I like today, and the crew weighing in on it. All right, grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of the Snake, always on the – how good does that look with BetMGM on there? Cian Ajad, the counselor, Orioles first 5, -0.5, -135. Then Zack attack, Max Fried. We're going under his K number today, 5.5, -105. Then Mikey B, Jose Altuve, over a half a single. He's got to have 1 single. That's it. Julio Rodriguez, over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. This guy is a beast, -130. Then the Sniper. He's on the Orioles team total, over 5.5, -130. They've been on a tear. Absolute tear offensively the last 10 to 12 games. Then Trey Turner, you talk about a tear. This dude is on fire. Over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. All right, a gentle reminder later today, there is no more early edge in 5 right now. We do have at 4 p.m. Eastern, however, our Week 2 NFL Mega Preview. And so much to unpack. We do have best bets on this show. And you want to beat the number. There's a huge difference between 2.5 and 3.5. Big. All right. What a good start to our week. Man, I feel good today. With all that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, level up. Zack Attack, the counselor, Mikey B, my man, the Sniper. Don't forget about the Snake, always on the 1s and the 2s. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you, so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about right here, presented by BetMGM, the early edge. Good luck.